Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So, founder of SNAC and founder of BALCO, Victor CONTE, he has a strong warning for undefeated unified WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion superstar boxer who is widely considered to be top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and ERROL the True Spence Jr. as he heads into his highly anticipated mega showdown with 8th Division legendary iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. It will be a unification bout as the WBA have unofficially announced that they will reinstate Manny Pacquiao as the WBA super champion. So there will be 3 belts on the line. This is scheduled to take place August 21st. With that said, there was some rumblings that Manny Pacquiao did not want to be enrolled in VADA, allegedly. And now Victor CONTE, who we know has had some turmoil when it comes to performance enhancers and things of that nature. And so with that said, Victor CONTE, he lets it be known that Manny Pacquiao in this fight with ERROL Spence is trying to do the bare minimum of testing in this fight so that, you know, essentially he's alleging that he could possibly be able to get away with things. So when he alleges these things and he says these things and he questions publicly, why is Manny Pacquiao looking to do the minimum of testing? Okay, Manny Pacquiao's team and manager, they respond, and they were not happy with the claims from Victor CONTE. Victor CONTE is a 71-year-old man. He's out of California, out of the Bay Area, California. And Manny Pacquiao's team, you know, they had some interesting things to say as they went completely at Victor CONTE, you know, and Victor CONTE, you know, he had this to say. This is what Victor CONTE had to say. This is very, very interesting. Quote, he says, "My understanding is Manny Pacquiao and ERROL Spence are still not enrolled in Nevada testing." Now, we know ERROL Spence, he did an interview with Fred on Barbershop Conversations, and he says that both parties involved are enrolled and it's not going to be an issue. But Victor CONTE, he's saying that ERROL Spence needs to be, you know, very, very cautious of and pay very, very close attention to what's taking place, because he still has the information that Manny Pacquiao is not fully enrolled. So he says ERROL did 12. He says, Victor CONTE, quote, "I know for a fact ERROL Spence did 12 weeks with Mikey Garcia." He said Manny did commissioning testing only for Keith Thurman in 2019. So he says that he knows for a fact that ERROL Spence is fully enrolled and going the full, he's going all the way with the testing. And he's saying that he knows that this was for ERROL Spence for the Mikey Garcia fight, and they're moving forward. He knows ERROL Spence is fully enrolled with VADA. He's engaged 1,000%, okay? And he says that he knows for a fact that Manny Pacquiao is doing the commission, the bare minimum, okay? He says, so why does Manny continue to seem to refuse VADA testing? This is what Victor CONTE had to say. He says, one has to wonder, why does Manny Pacquiao continue to refuse the full program for VADA testing, right? He questioned, right? Then, end quote, right? Manny Pacquiao's team, they respond to Victor CONTE. Quote, he said, when you need some performance enhancers, call this guy. Now, I'm paraphrasing. He used a different word, obviously, to describe Victor CONTE. He said also, he sells used cars that run on HGH, the best deals in the Bay Area. Wow. Now, we know HGH. We know what that stands for. He says, and SNAC on my blank, paraphrasing, etc., stated Gibbons in a shock outburst against polarizing CONTE. Okay, so Gibbons obviously is Manny Pacquiao's team manager. You know, he works with Manny Pacquiao. Okay, and obviously ERROL Spence last week on Barbershop Conversation, he stated that both parties were going to be involved and enrolled in VADA. Okay, so he had this to say. This is what he had to say. So this is what Victor CONTE had to say, and this is what Manny Pacquiao's team had to say. Obviously, we know there was a long-lasting feud between Manny Pacquiao and legendary retired Hall of Famer, former 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king, former pay-per-view king, Floyd Money Mayweather, who retired 50-0. It was a 5-year feud going on between Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It was the biggest fight in the history of the sport of boxing, and it couldn't get done for 5 years. Why? Because Floyd Mayweather, he suggested that Manny Pacquiao be enrolled in VADA, and Manny Pacquiao refused. Okay, even Freddie Roach, legendary trainer, Hall of Fame trainer, iconic, well-renowned trainer, longtime trainer Manny Pacquiao, he stated that they dropped the ball on the situation with Floyd Mayweather, and they waited 5 years. They should have just went ahead and conceded and enrolled in the testing. But even back then, Freddie Roach was saying, who does Floyd Mayweather believe he is? He creating new rules within the sport of boxing. So Manny Pacquiao was saying he didn't like needles, but we see visible tattoos. Okay, Manny Pacquiao said that, you know, when he gets blood and urine taken, you know, that it makes him weak. So he didn't want to, you know, do that method because, you know, he feared that a possibility he goes into a fight with Floyd Mayweather and he's not at his absolute best. So this was stated on the part of Manny Pacquiao. So we know for 5 years it held up the fight, and finally he decided that, you know, he'll enroll, and the fight took place. Floyd Mayweather won in a landslide. Okay, as Floyd Mayweather stated, he gave Manny Pacquiao at best 2 rounds in the fight. He just recently stated that ahead of his exhibition bout with YouTube sensation Logan Paul. This past Saturday just went past us. You know, he did an interview, and he said that you know, one of the interviewers stated that he thought the fight was 8 rounds to 4. Floyd Mayweather said absolutely not. It was 10 rounds to 2, and it should have been, you know, taking place earlier, but that's water under the bridge. So obviously we know you have guys like colorful analyst, former 2-division world champion Paulie Malignaggi, Teddy Atlas, you know, legendary trainer turned colorful analyst himself and boxing pundit. You know, they have a lot of questions when it comes to Manny Pacquiao in this situation. And now Victor CONTE, he's coming out and he's saying that ERROL SPENCE needs to be very, very aware of what's taking place, because he believes that Manny Pacquiao is not going to be fully engaged in the full VADA programming, allegedly. He wants to do the bare minimum of testing for this fight, you know, and fights in the past. He says he questioned why Manny Pacquiao chooses to take this route. And if anybody is qualified to question anybody regarding this type of situation and this topic, it would be Victor CONTE, because we obviously know what took place with Victor CONTE and BALCO and baseball and things of that nature. Okay, we are well aware of what took place. Okay, Victor CONTE now has a SNAC program. There's still athletes enrolled in the SNAC program, and Manny Pacquiao and his team, they're pointing the finger at him now and saying that he's still involved in such activities. Okay, allegedly. So this is very interesting. A lot of people were surprised that 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao seemed to have turned back the clock, allegedly, against former unified world champion, undefeated welterweight superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman. Now, in the second half of the fight, Manny Pacquiao won the fight split decision. He dropped Keith Thurman in the first round. He seemingly badly hurt Keith Thurman in the 10th round. Keith Thurman closed the gap. Manny Pacquiao seemed to have faded. Manny Pacquiao got a split decision. It was very surprising to see Manny Pacquiao accept a showdown with a guy that's 11 years younger than him. Keith Thurman is 5'7" with a 69-inch arm reach, and his style is a lot different than ERROL SPENCE. ERROL SPENCE is Keith Thurman is 32 years of age. ERROL SPENCE is 31 years of age. ERROL SPENCE is 5'9.5", nearly 5'10". He's a bigger, stronger guy with a 72-inch arm reach. He's a southpaw, and his style and his approach is much more physical than that of Keith Thurman. And most people thought that Manny Pacquiao was shy away from facing off against ERROL SPENCE Jr. Manny Pacquiao, 5'5", with a 67-inch arm reach at 42 years of age, coming off of a 2-year layoff. Last time we saw Manny Pacquiao in the ring was when he took on and defeated Keith Thurman. That was July of 2019. Okay, that was 2 years. It would be 2 years and a month since the last time we seen him, because this fight is not taking place till August 21st. So it's almost going to be 2 years and 2 months since the last time we saw Manny Pacquiao in the ring. And they're stating that, well, it's going to help Manny Pacquiao to lay off, physically let his body rest, and that's a strong possibility. But like I said, a lot of people are surprised that he even took on this challenge, and obviously it's a huge opportunity for Errol Spence Jr. as Manny Pacquiao is a legend within the sport of boxing. His legacy is already cemented. Win, lose, or draw for Manny Pacquiao. 62 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He has more knockouts than Errol Spence has fights. He himself was knocked out 3 times, and we know he was, outboxed by Floyd Mayweather, outboxed by Eric Morales. So we know Errol Spence, technical, sound boxer that's very physical, big southpaw himself. So he takes away the southpaw advantage from Manny Pacquiao. Going to be a very interesting fight. But Victor Conte, he wants Errol Spence to be very aware and on point when it comes to this situation. So we got to see how it unfolds and plays out. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the Real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.